Welcome to Hope and Sunshine Fine Art Studio. This is where our video classes begin and where you will learn to create art from your heart. We hope you enjoy.
Very happy to have you witnessing my classes, and I hope that you are getting better and be practicing. I want to thank all my students who have been sending me messages that make me very happy because everybody's giving me a lot of compliments, and I hope that you guys are as happy as I am in this absolutely fabulous day. We are creating today the lights of Christmas in the Christmas spirit that we have. And I want to thank today the Fulton County Board of Commissioners who are sponsoring these classes and make this possible for me to be teaching you guys art, but art with a heart, and art also with a lot of beautiful, uplifting thinking, positive thinking, and also positive affirmation for having a very uplifting life. Remember that any single problem has a solution, and these art classes are created exactly to give you the tools in art to create not only a wonderful work of art that you could just give to yourself or give a gift to anybody that you like. It's just to you to enjoy life like I envision it, like I practice, because I practice positive thinking. Remember that every single problem has a solution, and it's up to us to find the solution when we are uh, doing things with happiness and true uh, feelings within. And I'm going to begin today to show you what we're going to do, because this is one of my student and my creation also. Uh, I was thinking in Christmas, and I said, what could be something that it be Christmassy, but it's also give you the spirit of what we're living in Christmas. And I think that this is going to be a very uplifting thing to paint, because it's also a Christmassy, but it's also patriotic. If you see, I use the colors of the flag because to me, our country is our home, and we enjoy the emblem of our flag and enjoy the emblems of the colors. But I am glad that you guys are ready to begin something that is absolutely easy to do, and I'm going to just begin right now. As I told you before, it's good to have prime canvases, because the canvases sometimes they are manufactured, they do some priming, but they don't do exactly the good priming that we could do by ourselves. And I did prime this one a couple of nights ago. In that way, it will help me to do a good job. To begin with, we're going to just do a little line to establish our base for the candles to go. And I recommend you guys, if you have a chance, to buy one of those see-through um, um, ruler, because it will help you a lot. I'm going to do my first candle right now, and this is a little chunky candle. As a matter of fact, Let me make sure that I have the right measurement. Yeah, 2 inches. Sometimes I have my measurement in my eyes, and this is 2 inches exactly. As you could see, the dimension of this candle are more or less to be uneven because they are smaller, and I'm gonna do 2 inches over here too, and 2 inches over here. Okay, and I'm doing my second candle right now, and this is like a doing it with a little bit of a space in between, just like a 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I got my candles already, and I'm going to just erase this line over here that I don't think it will be good to have it over there. Let me just I just find out today that the pencil lines is easy to just do with a Q-tip and water. It will go away. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Just use, and this candle is dripping, and we're gonna do the dripping over here. I am fascinated with lights, and one of the things that I love to have is something with candles with dripping. I've been painting candles for a long time, and I love to see the drippings in the candle because it looks so cute. And we have the flame over here. And now I'm gonna do my second candle. Dripping also because they've been for a while lining. Christmas is absolutely a wonderful time to do this because Christmas is one day at one time of the year that everybody turns different, everybody turns much better. People are getting into the spirit of Christmas, and they are uh, preparing themselves to not only do gift, to have family, and some people have to drive really or fly really far to get together with the families and friends that they haven't seen for a long time. But the spirit of Christmas to me is not only the food and the commercialism, it's the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ who get us into the Christianity. But Christmas is being traditionally seen as a time to get together with the friends and family that you sometimes don't look at it during the the year you're far away from, and it is fabulous that we could just enjoy being the people with the people that we like and we love. Enjoy this time of the year that everybody seems to jolly and happy, and everybody buy candles, or most of the people buy candles because candles are representing also the light of good things, the symbol of purity, and the symbol of love. And to some people, Christmas is also a challenge because they have a lot of family, or sometimes they don't, and it it has many different meanings. I remember that I volunteer a lot in a nursing home, and Christmas is one of those time that the nursing home people miss some of their family that don't come over to visit with them, and it is a little sad situation for them. That's why I used to go and bring part of my love and part of my effort to make them feel that they are not abandoned there. And I did that a lot in Arizona and in Illinois. I volunteer in Christmas time to visit nursing home. In my country, Cuba, we didn't have, and I don't think we do right now, because in our culture we take care of our elders and we don't put it in another place to be taken care of by strangers. Okay, we have our 3 candles, and I'm going to do my poinsettias over here, and we are in business. Let me get my as you could see, Christmas, it could be a time for us to reminisce, and a time for us to make plans for the future, or a time for us to get in touch with people that we don't see normally during the year, because some people had to work far away from the original time. And Christmas is always a wonderful time of celebration, a wonderful time to be creative and be specifically doing something different that you don't do every year. I'm creating my poinsettias over here, and remember that poinsettias are a very colorful way to enjoy the signs of the vision of Christmas, because they're happy, they're colorful, and they are very pretty. I like to paint poinsettias because they're really easy to paint, and they're very colorful. It make you feel happy. It's nice to have a pattern to draw. If you are not good in drawing, it would be good for you to follow me what I'm doing over here. Every petal, and the poinsettia petals are very different than other flowers. I'm going to do some mistletoe over here. I don't think this is really mistletoe. I think they have holly. That's the name of this. They call it holly in the north. It's a very cute serrated leaf, that they're very easy to paint also. holly, they are popular in Christmas because they began to bloom in November and create those little uh, very small um, I would say grape or berries. They have like a little berry. They're very colorful. They're very pretty. And they're very ornamental in Christmas. It's very easy to find ornaments that it symbolize this holy scene. I hope that you could see clear because I cannot do too strong drafting because it will show later on. I'm going to do my second poinsettia over here. Remember that is different type of petals. There are smaller petals and bigger petals later on. And the beginning of the petals are very small. From my followers in YouTube, I want to thank them for all the beautiful comments that I'm receiving. People like my classes because I explain things very thoroughly, and they're giving me beautiful rapport, and I appreciate that a lot. It's a shame that I couldn't see you like you see me, but hopefully next year I might be able to do things differently that I could see you guys also. Okay, I have my second done, and I'm going to do the as you can see, it's just a repetition of the same thing, but you gotta be careful when you put it on in that way it balances at the end of the painting, it balances the painting. Be careful when you are going to design something to balance both sides, and this is very important. Okay, I got my second over here. And I'm going to do my third one over here. Poinsettias are so cute, I love it, because they are very colorful and also they're very easy to do. And I'm trying to balance over here my poinsettias that they looks real. Make it a little bit bigger. I hope that you have a lot of plans for this Christmas. I hope that the COVID-19 haven't damaged you guys enough to um, please don't lose the Christmas spirit and try to compensate no matter what happened. Many people have lost their jobs, but also many companies right now are open for hiring people again, and that is a wonderful thing for the people because you might get a better situation right now. I have several friends that lost their jobs and now they find a job much better than the one that they had before. That means if you practice positive thinking, positive thinking always help. Um, for the people who has a lot of losses like I had financially, don't dwell on it. Just keep looking for something better. I plan to take away and have some break in January, but in February, I plan to get my studio again functioning over here, and I will uh, call all the 80 students that I have right now to see if they wanted to come over and learn, keep learning with me. I am not defeated. I don't accept defeat because I always said that everything who happened is for the best and every single problem has a solution. And COVID-19 have been a time for us to reflect and a time for us to change our way of thinking in many ways. Some people had been extremely fearful, and there is no reason to be fearful for the future. Just keep having your hopes out and don't give up, but don't succumb to defeat, neither succumb to fear, because fear, what it does is just undermine your immune system and also um, doesn't solve any problem. Fear is one of the things that I never like to have, and try not to be fearful because for every single situation there is always a solution. There is always something that you could do, and most of the time, in my experience, in my personal experience, every time that I have a hard time, later on that hard time, I convert it in a good time because I am a very positive person. And I believe that being positive is one of the best things that we could do with ourselves and with the people around us. Because if we don't lose our sense of direction and our spirit of keep trying, if we don't lose that, we are in good shape. And I am almost done with my drafting, and I'm going to start doing the colors right now. Let me make this one a little bit bigger. This is a very cute um, Christmas scenery that you could just put in your walls as a remembering of this time, or give it give it away to somebody that it will enjoy it as a Christmas present, or give it a Christmas present to yourself. Okay, I'm done with my drafting and everything balanced. As you can see, I had the tendency to measure both sides and got a center my drafting. In that way my painting will be right on the center and will be balanced. My palette this time is going to be cute because it's going to be blue, red, and white. And we're going to begin doing this one in blue. And I'm using my blue, my light blue, and my dark blue also because there is shading over there that it needs to be done. I've been telling my students that always have the habit to clean the tubes of paint when you use it. In that way, the paint doesn't get dry inside of the cap, and you can open the cap. Okay, we're gonna have some darker blue here. I would love to see the result of this what you guys are doing because this is so easy to do and it's so good looking and so uh, Christmas is a spirit or spirit is for Christmas, and I'm going to just because it's a big area I'm just going to do the blue first and later on I do the other one. Remember that I've been telling you guys that it's recommendable to use the liquid tape, a professional pouring medium, which give up, even if these are water soluble paint, this one give the, it's a polymer, give you the look of oil painting because it gives some sort of a patina color, very pretty. And I'm going to just start painting my to make believe that this is round. Remember that you have to have round motion in your brushes. And this is very pretty to do because it gives the sense of not only it gives the patina that it looks really pretty after it dries. It gets a little shiny effect. If you wanted to do a round scene, remember to do a round motion in both directions. In that way you could even up the color and even up the paint. And I'm going to let it dry a little bit to go in another coat. I'm using a little white also to give the sense of shyness because wax is kind of a shiny, and to give a little bit of look of a shiny, you put a little bit of white to mimic the light that is being reflected over there. I don't know you guys, but I love candles, and it makes me feel very happy to have candles around in Christmas, and I buy it in different colors. And there's some candles right now that even they have perfume on it, and it's very pretty because it looks really cute, and it gives a very nice very nice, good looking color. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit and do the shading right now. And do a little bit more white on there. But the shading is gonna be really cute because you're gonna pop up the drippings. When I was designing this, I was thinking that we have many things this year that we have to be thankful for. Even if people think that this COVID-19 have been a terrible thing, to me, I think it have been a learning process for many people, and it have been also a situation that people will probably in the future reminisce about how they survived uh, this seem like it have been threatening for the health of many people and also for the life of many people. But as I tell you, if you look at things in the positive way, uh, positive thinking is always very, very helpful. And to me, the things who have been uh, happening despite of the media who have been so um, terrifying. Media have been exaggerating many things also, and it's a shame because they shouldn't be doing that. But it's the way that they make the sensationalism of something. But don't get yourself wind out. Don't don't believe everything that they tell you. Many things are elaborated in the media room, and just be positive. The more positive that you could be. It's a learning process for many people. It's a learning process for all of us, but it's also a way that we could just figure it out, how we could just uh, overcome whatever happens in between. Don't get yourself thinking that this is going to be forever, and just go with the flow. I'm doing my drippings over here, and I'm going to highlight it a little bit with white. Using the same paint that I have down below, I'm just highlighted to appear more real. As you can see, it's a very easy thing to do. Just outline a little bit with a little bit paint, highlight the dripping. Don't do it continuously. Do it in and out in that way appear more real. It's just appear that the wax has been melted, but it is not melting totally the color, because the color is still blue, but it's a little bit softer blue. I love to see candles that they have been done not only to don't burn it, they're done for the purpose of decoration. And I have a whole bunch of candles that are beautiful. One of them is a big um, teddy bear, and the other one I never dare to light it because I won't destroy my teddy bear. It's so pretty. And I have another one that is a pheasant, and I love pheasants. They're so beautiful birds. It is unbelievable. I would never dare to light those candles, and I have it as a decoration in my curio. Okay, now that this paint is a little bit dry, I'm gonna come back and do another coat to make it more appealing. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of white and a little bit of the polymer to make it more candle looking. Waxy, like a waxing effect. Remember that when you have something that you have to create round in a surface that is totally not round at all, the way that you do the brushes is what it creates this illusion that is round. I'm just light it up a little bit, these sections over here, and that way it looks more real. And now I'm going to just highlight over here a little bit with darker color. To make appear that is round. Same thing in the other side. The circular motion of your brush will determine the illusion of roundness in a very flat surface, which is a canvas. And then you can see it works. And I'm blending the color just to make the center a little bit lighter, and it creates the effect of a round candle. Okay, I think we're done with this candle. Let's just do the flame and do the poinsettia, because I always tend to tell everybody to spend time doing it from left to right, in that way you don't get your sleeves painted. And to do the light and the poinsettia, we're going to do some yellow and red, and we're going to create the flame and create the poinsettia. I'm mixing my colors over here with a little bit of polymer. In that way it will look really, really waxy, because the polymer gives it a patina color, shiny, and it's very pretty. Okay, to do the flame and to do the center of the poinsettia, we're using yellow and a little bit of white and a little bit of orange. And you see my palette, I got orange here, a little bit of yellow, a lot of red, and I'm going to put a little bit of white, and we're almost in business. I've been recommending my student to do a good research if they are going to become a pro. If you want to be doing this for a living or just to make paintings to give away for your present, like I did for years. For years, I've been painting and giving away when I have a wedding or when I have a birthday or somebody that I love, to make them feel good. I made a painting and I give it away. But I want to recommend you guys to, if you're going to devote time to do this, you better buy good brushes if you're going to become pro. If you're just going to keep doing it as a hobby, I recommend you guys to buy Chinese brushes. Chinese brushes are not too expensive and they are very ductile. You could use it. I use it for even not only acrylic, I use it for watercolor, and I use it for oil, because I find out that it's no problem to do these with Chinese brushes. Normally the oil brushes are special because they are low handle, but I find out that the Chinese brushes works really, really wonders with oil, and I don't have to buy very expensive brushes. I'm doing my flame right now, and I put yellow, orange, and red, and I'm going to work it out from outside to inside, leaving a space in the center, because if you have observed a candle light, the light is flickering, but it also have different tonalities. It's not really just one color only. It have different tonalities of yellow, orange, and red, and in the center is very white. And this is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing sun specks over here to make believe that this is reflection of the light that we see outside. I'm gonna let it dry, that portion, and I start doing my poinsettia over here. In that way I could go and do the outline later. And because all of this is red, I just don't have to go one by one all the petals. I could do it totally uniform, and later on come over and outline the petals one by one. Some poinsettias are white and they're very pretty. I like it a lot. But the real colorful, the red one, they're the one who really looks very Christmassy and very happy, and I love it. It brings together anything that you have in your home because it's really do a good job to make the home look better. I began to do all of this designing for my classes, and I've been neglecting to do my Christmas decoration. And tomorrow, thank God, I'm going to begin to do because this year I've been kind of a little late. But it's a lot of work in these classes. I've been working not only designing the motifs, I also been researching, and also there is a lot of work uh, in the computers to find the right way that we could just air these classes. And it has been a heck of a learning process because um, I find out that YouTube do not allow us to do 2 hour class, and we have to do it in one by one and put it together at the end. And this has been a heck of a learning process. We have a lot of technical learning done in regard to air my videos with these classes. Okay, I have my first poinsettia, and I'm going to just outline each petal to make believe that they are popping up. And I'm going to use my five bristle 50 brush. And I recommend you guys, if you buy drafting equipment and also excuse me, the heater over here is drying my throat. I'm not having the cold. It's just it's my throat become very dry when I talk, and it's giving me cough. I was talking about brushes. I recommend you guys to buy good brushes, but also if you would buy Chinese brushes, you will save a lot of money and a lot of effort because the Chinese brushes are less expensive, but it does a heck of a good job, and it will help you to. Um, but buy a 50 brush for these small details that you need to have. If you need to have very small lines to do, very small brush, it will do the job absolutely fabulous. And that's what I love my 50 brushes. I buy it in the places that they sell camera or retouching um, brushes for pictures. They are more ductile and less expensive than if you buy it in a art supply. I'm gonna put a little bit of black in my red to make these lines a little bit more popping up. Not too much, just a little hint. If you have a set of 24 colors, you don't need to do this because they have different colors of red. But in my case, I have a very small, not professional acrylic set, and I have to make the colors. if I have another set that is already done, but I'm painting with the same scene that I give away when I give away the packages. In that way, I show the student what to do with their own set of paints. As you can see, the black, it really pop up the petals, and you could see it better, and it's more defined. And I go over with the red and cover up just to leave the shade of black in the bottom. Leaving the center of the petal light, in that way you could see the difference. As you can see, it's a little tedious do poinsettias one by one petals, but the effect, it will pop off in the future. It looks, when you're done, it looks very pretty. I'm gonna go over here that I put too much dark and a little bit of white to even up. Just to make this a little bit better, and I'm putting a little bit of mix of white with red to make a lighter red to pop off these little ones over here. Poinsettias are such a beautiful, and they're not really a flower. It's just leaves. Long time ago, I read an information from a gardener that this is the only plant who does mimic a flower with the leaves. Mother Nature does things sometimes unbelievable. Because I am a very, very meticulous person and also a perfectionist. I didn't like these two petals over here, and I gotta erase it and do it again because I don't like the effect that it is giving to my poinsettia, and I could fix it right now. Poinsettia comes in very different color. It comes also white and red and darker red and a lighter red. And I have seen it almost red turning into um, um, orange red, which is very pretty. Now that I have the desired color, I'm gonna keep going and build it over the side of the petals with a little bit of black. As you can see, it's a kind of a uniform, tedious work, but it pays off after you finish. One of the things that I adore when I do flowers, I have a vivid imagination, and when I do flowers, I kind of imagine how they will smell, as the fragrance, how it smells. And I haven't seen anything fragrant in a poinsettia, but all the flowers they do have beautiful effect in that regard. And every time that I paint flowers, I've been wondering how it's gonna be, what will be the fragrance, that because they attract bees with their perfume. And if you have a good imagination, you could pinpoint what the bee will think. You have to be very vivid, the fragrance, for the bee to come over and find it. And pollinate them. Well, I have my poinsettia done, and I'm not going to do the greenery until later on, but I'm going to just do my second candle, which is red, and I'm going to just put a little bit more red over here. In my palette. With a little bit of the polymer and a little bit of water, and I'm going to do my red candle. Remember that candles are very easy to do. It's just you have to remember to do the motion in a round motion to appear that everything is red, that everything is round. The direction that you use your brush, it will determine how you could create the illusion. In this case, I don't care because the poinsettia is red. I don't care to go to the poinsettia also. I'm doing over here my wax. remember that candles they are round, and also they are shiny because the wax is shiny, and that's why I put the polymer to give the effect of the shiny in the painting. If you just do the original um, red color in the and I'm going to do over here my white reflection. And let it dry a little bit. So we start doing the second coat. While this is getting dry, I just could either do something else, which I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing the other poinsettia. But before I do that, let me just do also the flame and be sure that I have dripping over here enough. Before I create the dripping, I gotta let it dry the paint. The polymer, for some reason, stop the dryness of the paint. If you use the paint by itself, the polymer do not allow the paint to dry so quickly. What I'm doing is double coat to make it appear very, very solid. Very solid candle. And in between I'm gonna do my other poinsettia, but before I do that I'm gonna do my flame. In that way we use the reminder of the color. I'm cleaning my brushes because it's very important that you clean your brushes constantly. Brushes are part of your investment and they are expensive, and if you let it dry it's very difficult later on to get them clean. But in between that, also polymers, uh, they tend to make a film on the paint that is very hard. It becomes very hard after it dries, and it's not fun to be having brushes totally ruined because the paint had dry and it's not allowing you to get it out. There is a specific soap to and I'm going to recommend you guys to get a kit like this. Let me show you. This kit is fabulous because it has a soap for your brushes that you should be cleaning it every month, at least every week if you're very painting every day. It has a tube over here for taking the paint out of your clothing if you have an accident, and it has also a soap for your hand, because all these, if you do oils especially, the oil have to be used with solvent, and the solvent really dries off your skin. This is a kit who comes in a kit, but you could also buy it individually. This is a little bit expensive in the and they the name is Kiss, um, Kiss Off, and it's very convenient that you do have it with your paint, because anytime you could have an accident, but anytime you could fix it with that, and there is no way that you could ruin a blouse or a shirt or whatever you're using when you're painting. If you're not using, like me, I never use um, aprons because I am very careful painting. I'm not um, I would say, messy artist, but many people are not like me, and I recommend you guys to buy that because it will help you to get your brushes clean, your hand in good shape also, and also eliminate any problem with any type of accident that you might have. I'm doing my second poinsettia over here, and I'm doing a little lighter than the other one. To make a difference between one and the other one. It's very pretty. It's very pretty this when you're done because it is very lighted because and it's very Christmassy because it represents the lights of Christmas. But it also is very colorful because the poinsettias are extremely colorful. I'm doing two different coats in a little lighter tones of red because this one came out a little bit too dark, and I'm going to go over a little bit of that one with a little bit of red mixed with orange to make it a little lighter. And I'm going to do it real quick. Just a hint of it. Just to light them up a little bit. Now I like it much better. I gotta go and align, change my brushes, clean my brushes, and change it for my 5-0 and make the outlining with a darker red. And for the darker red, I mix a little bit of black with a red and orange to make it lighter but dark enough to make the outline. It's a little tedious work, but it does pay off after you finish. The good thing is, every time that you are doing something in art, you have to be very, very patient. Uh, there is three things when you are an artist or you want to become an artist, you cannot forget. Be very observant, be very patient, and don't give up. If you feel frustrated when you're doing something that you're creating something that you cannot make it possible because it doesn't work, that moment just get up, take a little break, go outside, get some fresh air, and come back again. Never give up, because art is just a combination of medicine. It's a combination of what your brain is telling your hand to do, what you perceive sometimes is not what you could do. And if you give up, if you are not patient enough with yourself, you never could accomplish anything. But if you're patient, I assure you that will pay off, because art is beautiful, it's very rewarding. It's also it helps you to acquire relaxation and acquire the visualization of something that you are creating, and the accomplishment that when you finally could do it, it makes you feel very happy. I had used art in my moments of hard time, tribulation, of hardships, and I had used my art as a tool to make me feel better, to make me go away from any problem that might happen, and just concentrating what I'm doing. And that means that my brain are creating alpha waves to help me to overcome any kind of problem that I might have. And art, I use it as a healing tool because it never have failed me. Besides to be an artist, I am a therapist, and I always use art as a therapy in many cases, and never have failed me. It always has helped me to make my clients feel better, feel accomplished, but also make them feel very, very good. And I recommend you guys to do the same. I have two petals over here that I put too much black, and I'm going to just put a little bit of white and go over with a lighter color and get that excessive. It might appear tedious work, but it does make a big difference when you're done. And I also have my friend over here that helps to get the excessive paint out. Q-tips have been, I always recommend to have Q-tips, a good source of Q-tip nearby, because he has been my best friend since I became a professional. Whatever I don't like something that doesn't make me happy, because I am I'm very perfectionist, and sometimes when I do something that I don't like, I go over with my best friend and do it against them. And this is exactly what I did. I didn't like the effect of these too dark over here, and I went and take the paint out and paint it again. And you could see the difference is very appealing. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to my candle and make another round to make it feel very, very waxy. And
45 minutes left.
We are not too bad in time today, no?
Mm-hmm.
I have my friend over here because my normal regular lady who helped me is sick with the COVID-19. She's getting better. Excuse me. And Marco is my friend. Marco has been my guardian angel with the technology of my classes, and I am very grateful to him. I'm very grateful to have him also, because without him, I don't think I could do this. I'm doing this side over here, putting paint on top of paint to make it appear waxy. And I'm going to highlight a little bit the dripping, in that way it could be visible. But this candle is going to be really good looking in a little bit, you will see. The good thing with acrylic is that you could just create something, and if you put the polymer, it gave the sensation that you are doing acrylic, but it looks more oil than acrylic, because the polymer gives that patina that looks like it's oil. I've been fooling a lot of people sometimes with my painting, that they think that I am painting oil, and it's not oil. It's just acrylic with the patina that the polymer gives. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more white over here to make it more visible. And I'm going to just let it dry and do the rest. Also, I'm going to highlight the dripping, that way the dripping gets a little bit more visible. By mixing white with the red. Remember that everything in art is an illusion. I'm creating an illusion over here of my waxing candle dripping all over. Okay, now I'm going to do the shading to pop up the dripping, and we are done. I'm going to mix a little bit of brown and red with the black and go over here and pop up the dripping. The ideal thing of this is do it with oil painting. That oil painting will dry in 2 or 3 days and it gets more reality, but this one is, I think it's getting real enough to make believe that it's a dripping, and this candle is getting better. By doing some shading. doing shading, but I'm doing also make believe that these are dripping, really dripping. To do the border, I will use my other little smaller brush, my 50, to create the border over here. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in between because when the light goes on, they reflect into inside of the candle also. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow here to make believe that this light is going right there with a little bit of orange. Now I'm going to do my flame, but I have to clean my brushes first because red is a pigment that is very strong. It's the same thing with the blue. The Prussian blue or the Alisarian blue, they're very strong pigment, and you have to clean your brushes really good to use another color because it does get themselves over there. Okay, now I'm going to do my flame. The last minute is what I do my halo. Let me do this one too. I'm not. And I'm going to just do my third candle, but before that, let me just finish my flame over here. I'm doing a little bit of orange. And a little bit of red. And I'm going to redo this one because these canvases are very they do absorb the paint, and even if I let's do it vice versa. If I even if I prime it, the canvas absorb the paint really easy. And I'm going to just do my flame very red. Mix it with red and orange. I don't know if you guys have done that. I have sit down in my fireplace and see the flames and try to create the flame itself, which is not so easy to do. Flame, because they are depending upon the log that you have in, or if it is like my fireplace is gas, the gas doesn't fire in the same way that is a normal log, and it gets another color, totally different color. I have my 3 flames on, and I'm just gonna attack my last one and do this one, and we are almost done. I think that we are in good shape, in good time also.
We got 30 minutes left.
Okay, I save a little bit of white in my other palette, and I'm gonna use it right now. And because I gotta do white, I gotta change the border also, because this one is a little pinky, and it's gonna give it pinky white, and I don't want pinky white, I want white. And I'm gonna use a little bit of polymer also. And this is gonna be a piece of cake. Because it's white into white, I don't worry about too much to do it round, because the roundness I will get it with the second color that I'm gonna put in. Excuse me. My throat gets very dry with the heater, and we have 2 heaters over here. They are giving me a hard time today. Okay, got my candle almost done, and all what I have to do now is make it a little bit of blue. Please excuse me. Drinking a little bit of tea helps also. I'm going to do my candle right now, giving a little shade, very pale blue. And we go from there. I'm just highlighting the dripping in blue, in that way you could see it. And I'm going to mix the blue a little bit darker. To highlight the dripping, and we are almost done. This candle looks really, really nice and dripping. Okay, I'm gonna do my other poinsettia, and this is piece of cake. This dripping over here is big, and I'm gonna put a little bit of white to highlight it. Okay, now I'm ready for my poinsettia. And I'm going to do real quick because time is going really, really fast. I'm mixing again a little bit of red with a little bit of orange to give me an orangey red. And this is absolutely fabulous color. And now I'm going to come back with my 5 bristle brush, make a little darker red, and go over and outline a petal, and we are almost done. The good thing in painting is that it gets you with the mood to create, and creation is something that it helps everybody to feel better. Um, Artists, we do have a very sense of direction, but also we have a sense of creation that is intrinsic in our personality, because we tend to, in my case, I tend to mimic what I see in earth, in my surrounding. And when I could finish something that I had seen, and I could finish exactly what I see it, it gave me such a beautiful feeling of accomplishment that no other thing make me feel more happier. And I think that happens to many artists because creation is so it's a beautiful feeling of completion. It's a feeling of yeah, you could do it. And I love challenges. Sometimes I challenge myself to do something that I never had done before. But before I do it, I kind of perceive how I could do it. But sometimes how I could do it, how I perceive it, is not really what I finish doing because sometimes I change uh, the way so drastically that sometimes I am the first who are absolutely amazed. I get into a situation that I get so embedded in what I'm doing that after I finish, I feel so good because I have accomplished something that I never had done. And and it's good to challenge yourself to do things that you never had done before. And I encourage you guys to do that. Uh, One of the things that is really easy to do is this little kind of a little paintings that it gets you the sensation of so much joy when you could accomplish what you're seeing when you're doing it, even if you never had done it before. It gives you the joy to conquer um, that challenge, and I had that a lot. I challenged myself with something that I never had done before, and I love it because it makes me feel that not only I accomplished something, make me feel that yeah, no matter how, no matter what, I could do it. When I began these classes, I had no idea whatsoever what we implied to do classes online, and we began to uh, experiment. The lady who was helping me, the technician, she was experiment to see how we could just um, do these classes that is 2 hours, and Facebook do not allow 2 hours. Facebook is not prepared to do such a long thing, and we had to do it in different ways and put it together at the end to make it possible. We had a lot of challenges, technical challenges in these classes, but it made me feel so good when we accomplished those. And right now, this is something that I feel very accomplished, and there is no money to pay that. It's something personal. I said, okay, I didn't have any idea how come I could do it, but I finally did it. And it gave me such a good feeling. And we are almost done. I have 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I will finish this.
15.
15? Oh, great. Uh, Challenges are something that life put us uh, in front of, and it is a big reassurance when we could accomplish anything against all odds or against whatever happens in between. It is really a good feeling to um, feel that yeah, there is no problem that we could do it, and this is something that it makes me feel very very happy. Also, I'm getting a lot of friends in the internet. I never have been in YouTube. I never have been in Facebook, and now I'm getting a lot of friends. They're calling me, or they are they're sending me messages, and make me feel very, very accomplished. It's a good feeling. When I began this, I had no idea what I was getting into. But this is our 10th class, and I am very happy that we could do it. Even time have been some sort of an enemy because he had really create problems, but we have accomplished something that I never thought I could be done. One of the things that I never thought that we could just do was when I began to design these classes. That's another thing that was a challenge because these classes are designed specifically to use art as a tool to encourage people to be optimistic and uplifting, being positive thinkers. And I hope that I have accomplished that one too because I try to portray my good sense of humor, my expertise in art, but also to bring to you guys uh, part of my philosophy in life that will help you to overcome any kind of possibilities or problems. I always think that any kind of problem has a solution, and that solution comes when you are determined to do not fall down, do not feel defeated, and that has helped me a lot in my life because I've been like everybody else. I've been having life ups and downs, but if I am down, I could be down no more than 2 days. The third day, I pop off and go back again to be optimist. And it's good to be optimist because that will give you a sense of many things, not only a sense of accomplishment. Being optimistic help your immune system to feel better, to work better. It help people around you to see that you don't let yourself down for any type of problem that it might happen in life. And I have been a motivator and also a role model from my students. That's why they call me Sunshine because I always been giving that sunshine to people who are having problems. I give part of my life and giving optimistic feeling, and I give my sun shining. I think I'm born totally optimist person, but being optimist sometimes is just also a training that you do with yourself to do not allow life put you down. And that's what I had done in my life. I never allowed life to put me down more than 1 day or 2 days at the most. The third day I pop off. And I had had many trials and tribulations like everybody else. But I consider myself a winner, and nobody going to take my title out of that because I've been Miss Sunshine for many years. My student call me Miss Sunshine because I've been shining to everybody around me. And I want to shine around you guys too. I want to give you my recipe for do not allow life to put you down. Do not allow any kind of problem to get you feel defeated or feel overwhelmed. You might feel overwhelmed 1 day, but the next day, think any type of problem have a solution, and it does. And I hope that these lessons that you're learning with me right now, it will help you in the future because these classes are going to end in December 31st. And I hope that you remember all what I've been telling you guys along these classes. Remember to get yourself, not only help you to become a good artist, help you to become a good person and to become a good citizen and to become also a positive thinker. Positive thinking is a tool that it will help you every time, in every single occasion, in your private life, in your uh, life as a worker, or your life as a professional. Being a positive thinker is a very beautiful way to overcome any kind of problem. And it has worked for me for 54 years, and I hope it worked for you guys too. That means I'm giving you guys the key of something that I have experienced in my own life, experienced in my own blood, but also I'm giving you not only this message, I'm giving you the tool for you to use it. And use it remembering that every kind of problem have a solution. And no matter how bad the problem might be, you could overcome it. You could just win it by being optimistic and being positive thinker. And I'm almost done. And this is really, really becoming really pretty. One of the things that I always going to do, and I promise that I will do it, is write a book. And I think I should write not one book, I think I should write three, because I have enough experience for doing more than one book. And in many ways, I consider myself a winner because I have overcome many, many different difficulties that you guys had no idea. And what helped me is the way that I'm thinking, the way that I try to solve my problems, and not only that, I solve the problems of all the people around me. And I have been very, very happy to do that because it's part of a gift that I have and I don't mind to share with you guys and whatever people want to hear me. And I have almost done. I have a lot of joy doing this, and I hope that you have a lot of joy doing it when you see this video. And I hope that you remember all the things that I've been telling you, because this is part of my legacy. This is part of my way to not only give thanks for the way that you are visiting my classes and doing what I'm asking you to do. It's just I'm giving you the tool to overcome many other different difficulties that you may have later. And if you follow what I've been telling you, you're going to remember me for a long time, because I told you every single problem has a solution. And if you don't give up and keep going, you are a winner. And we're done. And I want you guys to be happy watching this after you finish. And let me just put this, and I will sign it later on, because I don't want to be out of time. And if you see a painting, it's a beautiful painting, and after you, it's like when you go to a fiesta, you put your best thing. When we put a mat in the painting, it make it professional. And I hope that this will give you the light and the love and the good feeling that I feel doing it and teaching you guys how to do it. I had to do the halo, but time is absolutely out of right now. Love you guys. I hope that you have a good time. I hope that you see me next Wednesday, because I'm going to have another surprise for you guys. And I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful Christmas, and a wonderful year. Don't think that this year has been bad. This year has been a tool for us to learn how to survive it. And if you survive it in a positive way, in a positive thinking way, you are a winner too. And I have to say so long. Love you guys. Be happy.